The former Mayor of Khayelitsha in Cape Town has also paid his respects following the death of England's Queen. Vuyani Ngcuka received Elizabeth in the township in 1995 while she was on a state visit to South Africa. SABC News reporter Vanessa Poonah spoke to him.
Mr. Vuyani Ngcuka was the mayor of Khayelitsha township in Cape Town, which has now grown in leaps and bounds. But at the time, he recalls not a place that any of the residents would have thought would be, shall we say, worthy of a visit from Queen Elizabeth II. And of course, that's exactly what happened in 1995 when Her Majesty the Queen visited South Africa. According to Mr. Ngcuka, she insisted that Khayelitsha forms part of her itinerary. So, of course, we're joined by Mr. Ngcuka now to tell us a bit about that visit. And, of course, Mr. Vuyani Ngcuka, it must have been for you, as you've explained to me just now off camera, quite an occurrence. I mean, here we have Queen Elizabeth II visiting Khayelitsha. You've received her. We've seen the video of her alighting from the vehicle. Let us talk about the run-up to that visit. How did you feel at the time?
Yes, and the feeling of the time was just overwhelming. We could see, we were so much prepared by the embassy staff before she came, before the visit, the do's and don'ts, and then there she came, and so we were so overwhelmed, and on that particular day, because we had few stops. In fact, she wanted only 2 stops in the area. So one of them was the skills training center. Unfortunately, I used to work for that before, which is Triple Trust Organization. So when we met her, all that we were trained to do, it just fell away. Because
you're talking about the protocol in terms of
all the protocol just fell away. And there she was with the Prince Philip, and then Prince Philip just took a step back, and then I went forward to greet her, and then when we actually made a contact with her, she was just human. She was not carrying the Buckingham. She was not bringing that royalty, into Khayelitsha. She became a mother, and she didn't want. I was a spokesperson for the community, but she wanted more to speak to people themselves. She wanted to speak to the trainers. She wanted to speak to the trainees. She wanted to have a feel of their products, without people they are making in order to generate the income, the time they take in there, how do they come to the center, where they stay in relation to the center, and and their homes. And so on. He wanted to see their daily experiences in the center. So that was that to us was amazing. That was amazing.
You've explained to me just now, of course, in the run-up, there was quite a bit of a hula-ha, helicopters flying, the entourage. How nervous did that make you feel, sir?
So we're so nervous about it because we never. Mandela has been there before. Mandela was there before this. He was a state president visiting the area, and then she came in when he was with Mitterrand from France when he was a state president. But when the Queen came with all that, we never had a clue. We have no experience of it. So it was just so overwhelming and exciting to the community. And the whole of Khayelitsha was just a standstill. Everybody came around to meet, wanted to see, to get a glance of the mother.
Sir, today, just the day after we learned of the death of Queen Elizabeth II at the age of 96, 7 decades as the head, the monarch, really. Your sentiments, you've shared some condolences with the royal family. What do we take from the Queen and her life?
Oh, yes, we take from the Queen that people come first in everything that we do, and we're there as the servants of people. And we're there to serve the people for the glory of the Creator. She's now resting with the Creator, whom she has served so diligently and tirelessly.
Mr. Ngcuka, thank you so much for your time and for speaking to us. Of course, there, Mr. Vuyani Ngcuka, at the time representing the people of Khayelitsha here in Cape Town, saying that not in his wildest dreams did he think that he would receive Queen Elizabeth II, but of course that's exactly what happened back in 1995. And just giving us some insight in terms of what the mood was like in the township at the time, and of course the fact that Her Majesty wanted to speak to ordinary people that were working at the training and skills centre, the trainers themselves, the youth. And then also just explaining to us that today, of course, along with the rest of the world, condolences indeed coming out on the news of the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, and also then just remembering her, according to Mr. Ngcuka, for her humility and for her decades-long service for people, not just in her home country, but abroad, according to Mr. Ngcuka, and then also sharing those condolences with the British royal family as they enter this period of mourning.